Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
Absolute format is the best way to own this store. Time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. What's happening, all you minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions, and join me today as I talk about the collected editions in the January 2024 solicitations from DC Comics. So let's go ahead and get started. And welcome back, everybody. Now, as I always like to stress, sometimes the dates may change in the solicits. So because a book is solicited here, like coming out sometime in March, or maybe May or June, it could be delayed until maybe August or later on in 2024. So that is something to always keep in mind, and always like to remind people of that. Before going any further though, please don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. That lets you know when our videos are going live. And we put out videos every day. Sometimes 2. Sometimes 3. If we're feeling crazy. And as always, thank you to our patrons for making videos like this possible. Could not be doing this without you all. So we do have a Patreon. That and the link to our spread shop, which you can get cool shirts like this and stickers like this, are all in the description of the video. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So we have the Sandman universe. Nightmare Country, The Glass House, is coming out in hardcover format, $29.99. This is written by James Tynion, and it's got artwork in there from Lisandro Esterin and Maria Lovett. 208 pages, $29.99, coming out on April 4th, 2024. A book that took a lot of people by surprise because they snuck it into the catalog, and immediately, right after that, they put it into the solicits. That is Absolute Batman and Son by Grant Morrison. So this is the beginning of their run on Batman. And of course, it's got artwork in here from Andy Kubert and J.H. Williams III, Tony Daniel. But collected in here is Batman 655 to 658, 663 to 669, and 672 to 675, as well as Batman Incorporated number 5. So not collected in here are parts of the Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul, as well as the Grotesque storyline. That was the story that was, I think it was John Ostrander that did that with Tom Mandrake on artwork. Those are also not part of the Omnibus editions. I think they just collected the Grant Morrison stuff in the Omnibus editions, but not the whole Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. But that's what's missing from here, and of course this is an absolute format, meaning that it's oversized. This one's 456 pages, $150. And it also contains the incorporated issue number 5. Plus, we're getting a new cover. There's going to be an introduction by Andy Kubert and other extras that were not previously collected. So, for people that love oversized artwork, this one comes as a big surprise. Because we've had Batman and Robin collected in absolute format, but not the beginning of Grant Morrison's Batman run. Night Terrors, Nocturnal Creatures is coming out, collecting a bunch of miniseries like Harley Quinn 1 and 2, Poison Ivy 1 and 2, The Joker 1 and 2, Punchline 1 and 2, and Zatanna 1 and 2. Teenie Howard, G. Willow Wilson, Matthew Rosenberg, Danny Lord, Dennis Culver, and Hayden Sherman, phenomenal artist, by the way. I got to interview him. Stefano Rafael and Lucas Meyer. This book is $39.99, and it is a standard size hardcover. Night Terrors, Terror Titans is also coming out, collecting Terror Titans 1 and 2, or Night Terrors, sorry. Just Titans 1 and 2. Shazam 1 and 2, Black Adam 1 and 2, Angel Breaker 1 and 2, and Ravager 1 and 2. So Andrew Constant, Tim Seeley, Jeremy Hahn, Ed Brisson, Mark Waid, Roger Cruz, and Dexter Soy, just to name a few of the creators. Another one in hardcover format, $39.99, 272 pages, on sale the 5th of March. Batman, The Brave and the Bold, The Winning Card. Now, this is a book by Tom King and Mitch Gerard. I'm not sure if people have read this, so let me know in the comments down below if you've read this particular title. Both of these gentlemen have worked together on books like the Mr. Miracle, which is, of course, won all kinds of awards. But I'm curious about this one. This is a softcover, $16.99, and collects Batman the Brave and the Bold 1 and 2, 5, and number 9. Green Arrow number 1, or volume 1, reunion. I got to read the first issue because my buddy Wonder Matty was telling me how good it was. And it does remind me a lot of the Judd Winnick and a little bit of the Brad Meltzer run, so I was really happy to see this. The characters that showed up in this. This collects the first 6 issues. It's Joshua Williamson, Sean Izakse, I believe is the artist on this, or how to pronounce it, rather. But excited for that first volume. Not a hardcover, but it is coming out with the first 6 issues. The Unstoppable Doom Patrol. I've heard a lot of great things about this run. Praising it more than the last run, which was Gerard Way's. This is Dennis Culver and Chris Burnham, and David LaFuente on artwork as well. This is the first, I believe, 7 issues, and then the Doom Patrol story from Lazarus Planet Dark Fate number 1. And this is coming out on April 2nd, 2024. 200 pages, $16.99, and it is a softcover. Cyborg Homecoming by Morgan Hampton, Tom Rainey, Valentin Delandro, Edwin Galmon doing that cover right there. That is a kick-ass cover. And it collects Cyborg 1 through 6 and the Cyborg story from DC Power, A Celebration. Yeah, Cyborg is just one of these characters that, you know, it's weird because no matter who ends up writing Teen Titans, they just don't know what to do with this character. Whether it's Marv Wolfman or Jeff Johns, and it seems like he's there for a while. He is like the heart of the Titans, and then he just goes away. So I kind of say he might be a hard character to write. There was a limited series in the early aughts that was pretty good. I believe Ken Lashley was on artwork on that one, but I'm curious about this particular series. And yeah, I know in the New 52, he was more involved with the Justice League than the Teen Titans. Superman Action Comics Volume 1, Rise of Metallo. This is the Philip Kennedy Johnson series with artwork by Rafael Sandoval and Max Raynor. And you got a cover there by Dan Mora, who, you know, isn't busy enough doing 2 comics a month. He's got to do covers. Collecting Action Comics 1051 to 1056. This is a softcover, $16.99, coming out on March 5th. Superman, Lois and Clark, Doom Rising. I've been excited about this one. I don't know how good it is. Some of these are hit and miss when you go back to, like, legacy stories, if you will. But this collects the Action Comics 1051 to 1057, or the part of material from those issues, and the Death of Superman 30th Anniversary Special number 1. So it's pretty much the Doomsday story. This one is $16.99, 128 pages, and it is a softcover. But you've got Dan Jurgens, Lee Weeks in there, Brett Breeding, and Norm Ratman. Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. Oh, another one I'm so excited for. Justice Society of America, Volume 1, The New Golden Age. I had no idea how many artists were working on this book. This is the stories by Jeff Johns. This is a hardcover collecting the first 7 issues, as well as the one-shot of the Golden Age. Mikhail Janning is the cover artist there. Also doing internal artwork, but also Marco Santucci and Jerry Ordway doing some of the artwork. So we've got the classics characters that he enjoys using, and of course, Power Girl. Curious who else shows up in here, just based on the cover without spoiling anything. One of those characters just I didn't think would be in the Justice Society, but interested to see where that goes. I'm a big fan of Jeff Johns, and I'm a huge fan of his Justice Society. It's my favorite work he ever did at DC, JSA. Superboy, The Man of Tomorrow. This is written by Kenny Porter, who has done some amazing fun stuff at DC and at Image Comics. This is got artwork by Janoy Lindsay and other folks. This is a softcover for $16.99, and it collects Superboy, The Man of Tomorrow, and it's got that classic Connor Kent jacket going on there. Red Hood Outlaws Volume 1. This is one that took me by surprise because I thought it was, they're doing a big, you'll see here in a little bit, they're doing big, thick editions of some of these stories, or runs, rather. I thought this was a Red Hood Outlaws run, but no, this is the Webtoon series. So this collects episodes 1 through 10 of the Webtoons by Patrick Young and Nico Bascugnan. Javier Rodriguez Fejares also doing some of the artwork. Not to be left behind, but this is, I think, a lot of my viewers' favorite Webtoon book, and that is Batman Wayne Family Adventures. Volume 3, my goodness. Collecting episodes 52 to 72. It's very popular. CRC Payne and Starbite are the creators behind that. I assume those are just super cool names that they're using, like, says the guy named the Uncanny Omar. Vixen NYC Volume 4, Jasmine Walls and Haley Stewart. This is collecting episodes 29 through 38. Now, these are Webtoons exclusives. They have never been released in physical format, and this is the first time they're being released in physical format. Bad Dreams, A Dreamer's Story. Nicole Maines and Rye Hickman are working on this book. I want to say there was another Dreamer story. This is characters from Galaxy, the prettiest star in DC's first YA crossover. Okay, that's what this is. I thought it looked familiar. I'm looking at some of the internal artwork, and I thought some of these characters looked familiar. But it is an original graphic novel, $16.99, 208 pages, and it is a soft cover. Oh, yes, this is so cute. The Little Endless Story box set. These are both hardcovers in there, $35.99. So you have the Little Endless Storybook in here, and you also have Delirium's Party, the Little Endless Storybook in there. And of course, all written and drawn by Jill Thompson. $35.99, 120 pages, and both of those are hardcovers. And the new printing of Absolute Final Crisis, the 2024 edition, but I don't see them actually putting that anywhere on the title. Collecting Batman 682 to 683, Final Crisis 1 through 7, Final Crisis Superman Beyond 1 and 2, Final Crisis Submit, and the Final Crisis Sketchbook. 480 pages, $125, and written by Grant Morrison, and of course artwork by J.G. Jones and Doug Mahnke, as well as Carlos Pacheco. Doug Mahnke doing the Superman stories, but also finishing out what J.G. Jones couldn't. However, for the Absolute Edition, J.G. Jones went back and redrew the pages that he couldn't finish in the monthly issues. That's why it kept getting delayed. So that's really cool. All right, let's talk about these. This is really interesting because it seems like DC is going to be doing these type of books, so we'll see how this goes. The first one is Batman and Robin by Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason, Book 1. Now, when I say these type of books, I mean thickies, thick books. This one is collecting Batman and Robin 20 through 22, and Batman and Robin, the second volume, so after it relaunched in the New 52 era, 0 through 14. It's 400 pages, $39.99. So it's not quite compendium. It's not quite as thick as a compendium, but it is a thick book. Honestly, reminding me of the epics, like the way the epics are done. But modern epic, if you will. So it's not the only one. We're going to see a couple in here. But speaking of compendiums, let's go ahead and talk about this one here. Batman Beyond, the animated series. Classic Compendium, the 25th anniversary. Again, I don't think they're going to put 25th anniversary. People were upset that this was a compendium because we got the Batman adventures in an omnibus format. And I get it. I also love the omnibus format. But like I always say, at least we got this collected. I mean, this is wonderful that these stories are now being collected in a big, thick format. This collects Batman Beyond, Volume 1, 1 through 6, and then the second volume, 1 through 24. And that never got finished being collected in any kind of collections. Plus, you also get Superman Adventures number 64 featuring the character of Terry. This has work in here from Hilary J. Bader, Rich Fogel, and Jordan B. Gorfinkel, as well as Paul D. Story. And artwork in here from Rick Burchett and Joe Staten, Craig Russo, just to name a few. 752 pages, few of the creators, I mean. The cover there by Bruce Timm, $59.99, and it is a soft cover. Batman Incorporated Volume 2. This is the Ed Brisson series, and this is Joker Incorporated. John Timms supplying the artwork, and John Timms will be joining Jason Aaron in his Superman run, kicking off in, I believe it's in January. But this one is a hardcover, $24.99, and it is 144 pages, and it comes out on March 5th. It's my birthday month. Batman Volume 1 Failsafe. So you have Chip Zdarsky, Jorge Jimenez, Leonardo Romero, Belen Ortega, collecting Batman 125 to 130. And this is a phenomenal, fun, awesome series. This is a softcover, 224 pages, $16.99. The hardcover came out earlier this year. Batman Superman World's Finest Elementary. This is Volume 3. Mark Waid, Dan Mora, and Emanuela Lupacchino with a Dan Mora cover. And this comes out again on 3/12/2024, collecting World's Finest 12 through 17. I love this series. I think Volume 1 might be one of my favorite reads this year. 168 pages, hardcover edition, $24.99. Now, this is where it gets really interesting because we're getting Batman The Adventures Continue Season 3. I don't think this was in the catalog. I think this is the first time I'm seeing it. And this collects Batman The Adventures Continue Season 3, 1 through 8. So it's the stories as if they had continued because you have Paul Dini and Alan Burnett writing the stories, Ty Templeton, Jordan Gibson, Jacob Edgar, and Kevin Altieri doing the artwork, with a cover by Kevin Nolan. This is a soft cover, 208 pages, $19.99. And we're going to get some answers to some big questions that I've had because we finally have the content for this and another one I'm so excited for. But first, let's talk about this one. No, a lot of people are excited about this one. This is Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Hard Traveling Heroes Omnibus. Hell yes. A lot of people are excited. Now we have the content. So collecting Green Lantern 76 to 87, and then 89 through 123. World's Finest 201, Stories from Brave and the Bold 100, DC Special Series number 1, DC Superstar 17, Flash 218 to 224, 226 to 228, 230 to 231, 233 to 234, and 237 to 238, as well as 240 through 246. Green Lantern 80th Anniversary 100th Page Super Spectacular number 1, and World's Finest Comics 210 and 255, with a brand new introduction in here by the phenomenal Mike Grell. Dennis O'Neil, Neil Adams, so they did put in the Mike Grell stories. I think when we saw this, we didn't have the solicits, by the way. We didn't even have the page count. The page count for this is 1,336 pages. It's $125, coming out on March 19th, 2024. I think the way we mapped it out, we did include the Mike Grell stuff in there. Me, Omnidog, and Lars. And I think John was in that video too. No, it was Jake from The Brave and the Boys. But we didn't skip any issues of Green Lantern, but it looks like they're skipping issue 88. But now you've got your answer as to what's being collected in there. Harley Quinn, Volume 3, Verdict. Stephanie Phillips continuing her run. This is the softcover version of the book that was released earlier this year, collecting Harley Quinn 13 through 17 and the 30th anniversary special. Riley Rosmo doing the artwork with Jay Lastine doing the inks. And then we're also getting Harley Quinn Volume 5, Who Killed Harley Quinn. Now this is the hardcover version because I want to say it's more than 6 months now. Later on they released the softcover version. But this collects Harley Quinn 22 through 27. You have the cover there by John Boy Myers and the internal artwork by David Baldeon and Matteo Loli. And that one is hardcover again, 208 pages, $29.99. All right, let's talk about more of these big books. JLA, Book 1, with that cover right there by Frank Quitely. So you have... Okay, let's talk about this book. It's not a compendium, but it's 608 pages, and it's $49.99. Collecting JLA 1 through 9, JLA Secret Files and Origins number 1, JLA Wildcats number 1, and the never before collected, as they wrote it in the solicits, JLA Tomorrow Woman number 1, the 80-page Giant number 1, Annual number 1, Paradise Lost 1 through 3, I'm glad those are in here, and the JLA Gallery. So it's got stuff in here from not just Grant Morrison, but also Mark Miller and then Brian Augustine. So it looks like this is the way to collect JLA, if they keep coming out with more of these, complete without missing any issues. Because as you know, the Grant Morrison's issues, or Omnibus, does not collect the Mark Waid stuff, but that can be found in the Tower of Babel Deluxe Edition. But it also doesn't contain the Mark Miller issues. Uh, so it looks like this might just be JLA. Doesn't matter who worked on it. We're gonna collect it all. So I'm glad they're doing it. I mean, it's not an omnibus, and I know I say that like it's the only format. But I'm glad they're doing it, and I'm glad that they're collecting everything, not leaving anything out. That's what I appreciate about these type of books. This and the earlier book I was talking about, the Batman and Robin series by Tomasi. So hopefully nothing will be left out. There's another book in here, too, that we'll get to here in a second. But first... Okay, let's see how right we were. We were arguing over the mapping of this book. And then I think finally I caved, and I didn't cave. I just listened to my co-host and you all that were like, well, what about this, Omar? Yeah, you're right. What about that? Okay, let's talk about this book. So in this book, Justice League is what I'm talking about, of course. Justice League International Volume 3. Rest in peace, Keith Giffen, by the way. I never got the... I went live last Saturday with Amanda when we were in New York. He was supposed to be at New York Comic Con. He passed away, leaving a huge legacy and a big hole in our hearts behind. Like, he was a hell of a writer, hell of an artist. Just, it sucks when somebody that's been in the game that long, you know. To me, he was still young. He was 70 years old. And I talked to Kevin McGuire a little bit about that, and it's funny to hear his take on things, and had a little bit of a laugh. And I know how J.M. DeMatteis feels about it too. But yes, rest in peace to the legendary Keith Giffen. Lost another good one, man. I'm sorry. Let's talk about... No, I'm not sorry, because he wrote this stuff, so I should take some damn time to respect the man and his legacy. Take back my apology. Let's talk about the content. Justice League of America 51 through 60. Secret Origins 33 through 35. Justice League of America Annual number 5. Green Lantern number 18. Justice League Quarterly 2 through 5. JLA 80-page giant number 1. Formerly known as the Justice League 1 through 6. You all were right. JLA Classified 4 through 9. Justice League Europe 26 through 36. DC Retroactive JLA the 90s number 1. That's another one I missed too. Justice League Europe Annual number 2, and Justice League International Special number 2. Now, if you watch my videos, I do my, like, every year I do my Most Wanted, Omnibus, DC or Marvel. And for DC, I said, okay, you all talked me into admitting that, okay, the JLI Volume 3 would go all the way to issue number 60, and the JLI of just Justice League of America. And the JLI Volume 3 would collect all of the Justice League Europe issues, taking us all the way to issue number 36, which it did. So if you watch that video, I talk about my mapping for Superman and the Justice League Omnibus that continues from this particular one. I don't know how they're going to do it. They may give us a JLI Volume 4. Who knows? But... yeah, I mean, you guys were right. With the exception of one thing, I think you all said this would only collect Justice League Quarterly number 2 through 4, but they included 5 in here. So 1,448 pages, $150. Yes, this is the one from the catalog or the solicits that I'm like, oh, hell yes, that's the one I've been waiting for. I can't wait for it. Keith Giffen, J.M. DeMatteis, Kevin McGuire, Bart Sears, Chris Sprouse, Chris Wozniak, and of course covered by Kevin McGuire with other creators in here. Justice League, the New 52, Book 1, another thickie. This one, 528 pages, $49.99, collecting Justice League, the New 52 era, so the Jeff Johns and Jim Lee, Ivan Reyes, Tony Daniel era, 1 through 17, Aquaman 14 through 16. So you have a cover there by Jim Lee and Scott Williams, and like I said, this is a trade paperback. It's another thick book. Maybe testing the waters with those books. And it's interesting that they're doing kind of modern books, too. That they're doing Batman and Robin from the New 52. Well, it started right before the New 52. JLA, I don't know if that's even considered modern age anymore, because I think that's 90s. Too many young folks. No way they consider it modern. Okay. Superman, Emperor Joker, the deluxe edition. I love this story. I know it's hokey as hell. I know it's an alternate reality. I don't care. I loved it. Jeff Loeb, J.M. DeMatteis, Mark Schultz, Joe Kelly writing the stories in here. But you have artwork by Ed McGuinness with that cover by Ed McGuinness, Doug Mankey, Mike S. Miller, Duncan Rillo, and a bunch of others. So this collects Superman 160 and 161, Adventures of Superman 582 and 583, Action Comics 769 to 770, Man of Steel 104 to 105, Emperor Joker #1. And it's supposed to feature a new cover by Ed McGuinness, so that might be a placeholder. And there is going to be an introduction by Jeff Loeb. We're not done with Supes yet, baby! Superman, the Silver Age Omnibus, officially now in the solicits. So, one step closer to your hands. I know people are excited about this one. Collecting stories from Action Comics 241 to 265, Superman 122 to 137. And this is Clark Kent's college days. You have stories in here like The Menace of Metallo, when Lois first suspected Clark was Superman, and Odo Binder, of course, the co-creator of Captain Marvel, the original, Shazam, that guy. Bill Finger, co-creator of Batman, Jack Schiff, Jerry Siegel, what the hell's wrong with me? And then artwork from Wayne Boring, Kurt Swan, and Al Plastino. The cover there is by Kurt Swan and Stan K. 776 pages, $100. Teen Titans Year 1, the 2024 edition. I got so excited when I saw this in the solicits and realized it is a trade paperback, which came out many years ago. Probably about, 15 years ago or so. I was hoping they'd do a deluxe edition because Carl Kessel's artwork in here is phenomenal. This collects all 6 issues of Year 1. Amy Wolfram is kind of modernizing the story. It's a fun story. I really enjoy it. I'm not the biggest fan of retcons, but I don't think this one was to be taken too seriously. 144 pages, $16.99. Didn't expect this, but it's still excited for it. The Kingdom, the 25th Anniversary Deluxe Edition. I can't remember, a lot has been solicited, and I've talked about a lot of books on my channel, but I can't remember if we knew about this one or not. This is the 25th Anniversary Deluxe Edition. Mark Waid, Jerry Ordway, Ariel Olivetti, Mike Zeck. That is actually a Mike Zeck cover right there with John Beatty on inks. This collects the New Year's Evil GOG #1, The Kingdom 1 and 2, Son of the Bat, Night Star, Offspring, Kid Flash, and Planet Krypton. And it will feature a brand new introduction by Mark Waid, as well as the original series outline. So very excited for this one. 288 pages, $49.99. Now, if you're looking at the cover and you have no idea what the hell this is Mark Waid's follow-up to Kingdom Come. Alex Ross decided not to do it because he didn't really believe in the project. He didn't think that the project needed to follow up. And a lot of people respect that. However, a few years later, we got Thy Kingdom Come from Jeff Johns and Alex Ross. So, people change their minds, and they have every right to, especially when they're amazing artists like Alex Ross. Wildcats, Volume 2, Bloodshed for a Better Tomorrow. This is the Matthew Rosenberg series. Danny Kim and Tom Derenick on artwork. And this is the hardcover. They're putting these out in hardcover first. 160 pages, $24.99, collecting Wildcats 7 through 12. Now, if you're interested in any of these books, when they come up for pre-order, check out our sponsors.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget, the CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And those were the books in the DC And those were the collected editions in the DC solicits for January of 2024. Let me know in the comments down below which ones you are picking up, which ones you're excited for, which ones surprise you, and what you would love to see solicited sometime soon. How would you map JLI Volume 4? Would you call it Superman and the Justice League like I did? Anyway, any questions? Leave them down below. Thoughts, feelings, whatever. Comments down below. Everyone, stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.